So we're meeting for the HVAC Building Committee meeting for April 26th. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? You, Mark. Pledge of allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all. Excuse me. Okay. Approval of meetings. We did not get the meetings for 4/12, but we do have the 4/5. Joe, can you make a motion to approve those meetings? Minutes, rather.
I'd like to make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second the motion to approve the minutes from April 5. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously. All right, project updates.
Before we go any further, I just got an email from Sheila saying that she's on, but she tried talking, but we couldn't hear her.
No one's listening. Okay. All right, very good. Thank you, Sheila. Makes my challenge.
Tim, do you want to start off with the project updates for the
Sure.
three schools?
Please. Yeah, we had a busy couple weeks, right?
We have. Let me try to share my screen here with okay. Let me know if you guys can see the blue beam.
Yep.
All right, great. Oh, this window's in the way. Okay. So we'll start with North Stratfield. So I just kind of did a little quick update here for the purpose of this call, and I'll do this going forward every time so you guys can get, a good understanding of where we're at. So right now, in the green is our phase 1 area. So we did some partial demolition in the classrooms. It was more of exploratory work. We're going to be finishing that demo once the school gets out. And the reason being is that one, the sprinklers are kind of in the middle of the room. Which also was going to be a little bit of concern if we had areas of the ceiling open and then the sprinklers were still in set. So as we talked to the fire marshal, I think it was a better move to do what we did for this time of like getting through the rest of the school year. And also the lights in North Stratfield are going to be there to remain. They're not getting new lights, and they are an uplight, so they wash against the ceiling tiles and come into the room. So if we took all that out, we might have issues with lighting, and we didn't want to distract the kids and the teachers, for the next couple months. So we deemed it better to just do what we had to do as a very minor demolition in the classrooms, which was really just small corners of each room, got some tiles removed, some grid taken out. We have fire-rated poly protection in there right now, which I have a picture of. I'll zoom in a second. So right now, actually here, here's kind of what we did in the classrooms. Again, very minor, but it was mainly just to be able to get some field measurements taken so we could start that ductwork shop drawing and fabrication, which will get us geared up and ready for June 15th when school is out for the summer. The corridors, however, along down here and then making this turn going towards the lobby, we were able to get fully stripped down. So here's a picture. There was supposed to be an arrow here, but that is this little area right here. So we just kind of, I wanted to take a couple of progress photos just showing the open ceilings, and this is what it looks like now. So there was a lot of wire management that we had to do, which was basically just zip tying everything up, making sure things are grouped together. You don't have wires laying on things they shouldn't be laying on. And then we had another photo here, which this one is kind of at the end of the corridor looking all the way down to where it turns. Actually, sorry, we're looking back the other way towards this door. So again, you can see, we had to bundle up wires. We had to make sure things are kind of cleaned up. So now when you look down, you're seeing everything kind of grouped together. That was a building, department requirement. And ceilings are out, and now we're able to get, again, all of our field measurements in for the ductwork that will be, replaced in this area for all the new AC. So again, North Stratfield was a pretty quick scope for us last week. We were able to finish it within the week. We don't have any work that's going to have to take place between now and June 15th. So we're focusing our resources at the other two schools to get further along there. So we'll move to Osborne Hill next. So Osborne Hill, again, same procedure. So the green is what we have completed as of this morning. So we actually just finished room 9 last night. I was with the building department earlier this morning at Osborne, and we had, again, no issues with any inspections. We've had, fortunately, good inspections every morning. We haven't had any issues that the building department's been concerned about, or the fire marshal. The teachers have actually gone out of their way just to say thank you, and that, you know, they thought it would be a lot messier of a situation as they came in the next morning. So we're glad that everyone is happy right now with what we're doing, because we know it's very disruptive. So again, just a couple progress photos. I took one of class 7. Again, wire management up above, and, you know, we had to just remember safe off lights. You'll see over here, there's some studs and some mineral wool. We had to, so these rooms, most rooms at Osborne that we've done so far have not been continuous to the deck. That's not an issue. There's no need for them to be continuous to the deck for like a fire or smoke rating. But now that the ceiling's out, we lose that acoustical rating in the room. So we had to go ahead and do additional mineral stuffing and studs to make sure that when the teachers are teaching now, they don't hear everything over the walls. So not too big of an issue, just a little bit of a initial setback until we did some more exploratory work to see which rooms are going to be needing that. So we've identified through the rest of this area which rooms need it. So we're addressing it in time at night. Here's another picture of this classroom over here. This teacher, we had to do the same thing. We put extra poly protection up because I believe there's a sensitivity in the classroom, whether it's herself or some students. So we just made sure that we bagged everything and kept it clean. Even though the mineral wool doesn't really add to anything in the air, it's just more of a visual perception. So again, that's a finished room in Osborne. So you'll see we have the relocated sprinkler head up temporarily to meet the NFPA 13 code. Everything is tied up as it should be. And again, we've had no complaints from building department as of this time. So for Osborne,
what is that middle section in white?
right here.
Yeah, classroom 10, corridor 112.
Oh yeah, so this is kind of our roadmap to finish phase 1, Jeff. So right now, tonight, we're going to be doing classroom 10. So we'll be working there again tonight. And then as we go into next week, we're going to do the special ed room, and then we're going to work our way back.
So the white is part of phase 1. It's just not completed yet. So
yes, yeah, and I wanted to do some with colors and not make it too confusing. Yeah, so white is this with the white with the dates here is still part of phase 1. This whole area, but I just wanted to put actual dates that we're marching to our schedule.
Thank you.
So again, we should be wrapped up hopefully by the end of next week, if all goes well, once we do these corridors and there's nothing in there that's abnormal or slows us down. So we're moving along. And again, once we get to that point, we can, you know, reevaluate what we're doing. I know, Jeff, you had some questions about certain you know, demolition and phase and stuff. So, but yeah, and then we're going to move over to Fairfield Woods. So
before you go off of Osborne,
yeah,
just for clarification, the office and like the media center are not part of phase 1.
correct. This will be part of
Correct.
the vestibule alternate. Yeah, see, it's in this dotted line, everybody, just to make sure everyone can see that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will only
Just
be
want to
going
point
down
that
to
out.
right about here. So at Fairfield Woods, we started the week of the 15th on the 2nd floor. Here we were able to be completely successful getting through what we wanted to in that first week. We were able to get through all these rooms, get through the corridors. I put a couple progress photos here of the 2nd floor. So part of that, one of those ATPs that we have sent over to Mark Schweitzer that we will review, or you will review at some point. This was some of the work we had to do. We had to clean and bag off some of the panels that we had found once we opened up the ceilings, and have, you know, basically encase them to be dealt with at a later time. Once school's out, we will test and remove as required. This room is just another, I want to give a shot kind of how we're protecting the Promethean boards. So again, you can see the good job that Oscars is doing. They really are diligent with their protection. I've watched them put their protection up a few times, and they have spray adhesive that they do at the seams. They have the red tape, which is a very strong sticky tape, not like a normal duct tape, and it's been going well so far. I think that's why we've been successful with the custodians even not having too much concern with how we're leaving the rooms for them when they step in to do their final clean. And this is kind of our rolling protection. So we have a few of these made for each school and we roll them into place. There's obviously a plastic over the Promethean board to keep any dust out. And then this is kind of just like a nice framework that slips in over the top. So if, a tile or a piece of tea was to fall, it's not going to gouge or scratch the Prometheum or any of the smart boards in these rooms. So then just move along to kind of where we're at right now. So again, Jeff, same considerations here. So white with the dates is still part of phase 1, but for the purpose of this call, I just wanted to show what's done. Actually, this is confusing. So this is not done. This will be done over the summer. But for right now, we started working on Monday night on this side of the corridor. And as of Wednesday evening, we completed up to room 132. Because of a couple large assemblies at Fairfield Woods and the concern of taking the fire sprinkler system offline for hours, we held off and will resume on Monday night in classroom 130. So a couple looks at the first floor. This is kind of what our ceiling exposed looks like. It's kind of a wire fabric with some insulation paper that is essentially like kind of a form, like a pour stop. There's concrete above this for the deck. I have another shot over here, just kind of showing the classroom in full protection. So again, you can see how much they actually go into just making sure everything is covered and that there are no areas for dust to get into. And so far, again, we've had no issues at Fairfield Woods. We've had inspections have been approved. We've had, good confidence with the fire marshal and Mike from the building department. And again, we're going to keep moving through here with hopefully wrapping up around 5:15 of this phase 1 push, which then again, we will fall back and do this area in the summer. And the reason being is that the weight room and the Project Adventure have a lot of equipment in them. And these are their computer lab and tech centers, which are, the wood shop. And they have a lot of furniture and other items in there that we just don't want to have them disrupt, that we don't even think we can get done in one night anyways. So it's better just to push it off. So for right now, we're tracking, we're hitting our dates. We're being successful in our inspections and, we're looking to keep that going as we get into the middle of May. So I think that's all I have for an update. Any
Thank you.
questions?
All good, Joe?
Yeah, it looks like everything's on schedule. That's what was my main concern.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Yep. Here, I'll stop sharing and take it back.
I'm just looking at my notes from last week. See if there's anything. All right, Mark, anything else you have on updates?
Well, I sent out the budget summary with the transfers earlier this week. Just wanted to share that with the committee. If there's any objections to the transfers that I had proposed, we can talk that
I
out.
have none.
So I will make the transfers on that. We did have, I did send out the materials testing. We did solicit the materials testing agencies off the state contract. We received one back, which was Tri-State, and I've used them in the past, and they are a good materials testing agency. And then with that, I got together with the structural engineer, just on past experience with it, that we went through and did the full day, basically outlined what we think they'll be using for site visits, and we based it all on full days. So if they use two half days is a full day for a budget number, and these budget numbers are a function of how many site visits. It's a T&M unit rate PO, but this is just a budget number, so we can issue a PO to them and track and manage them that way. Obviously, the heaviest lift is in Fairfield Woods with the number of rooftop units and the electrical room addition. So with that, we have what we figured for budget numbers for the issuance of POs, 35 for Osborne, 45 for North Stratfield, and 9,500 for Woods. And just to, we had two budget line items for this. We had the materials testing and the special inspections, which the testing agency will be also doing the heavy lift on that. We have 15,000 in each of the 3 projects for the materials testing agencies. So we're within budget on all 3 schools.
Okay. Thank you.
And the other item I had, we brought up 2 weeks ago about the Connex boxes for North Stratfield and for Osborne. We have pricing for that for each school is essentially $5,400 per school, and that way the school can move out of their outdoor storage outdoor storage areas and go bank and set up field offices in those areas for that. And we compared it to renting a Connex box at $300 a month for the 17 months, and it's right there. So at the end of the day, these Connex boxes can go to the next schools, or they can go to the next schools, and at the end of the projects, or the end of the phases, they get turned over to Fairfield Public Schools.
So Sal, I'm told you're excited about the prospect of owning 2 big metal boxes at the end of phase 5. So we should...
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful that we get those things. Yeah, tell you the truth, in the past, we used to waste money and just, rent these things when, it just ended up, we would have been more price efficient just owning them at the end of the day. So, yeah, we have use for them afterwards. They won't go to waste.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the phases 2 through 5, it seems like a no-brainer to do the purchase versus the rental, since we'd be looking at quadrupling our costs over the multiple phases. So.
And you can't pull up to a high school in Connecticut without seeing at least one Connex box around the sports fields. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the 2 Connex boxes at $5,380 to be used for phase 1 and then carried forward to the subsequent phases.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
The proud owners of 2 Connex boxes. All right. What else you got?
Well, we talked about it, and we can bring it up now, and it doesn't need to be settled at this meeting, so it wants to be discussed. on previous projects, we had chair approval for ATPs under a certain dollar amount.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
defer that. I'll send a note to Joe and to the board. So Joe, at the high level, and I want to do it in Rod's here, just so all of us are here. But the idea is to generate a spending, an authorized spending limit for one of us, for me, or if I'm not available, for you, if you will, to authorize spend on the projects if things pop up, so we don't hold up the project.
Yeah.
So, but I want Rod to be on that call, so we'll defer the vote for that till next week.
Okay. And that's in the dollar amount too, if that just put thought into the dollar amount. I think on Mill Hill, the chair had up to 20,000. I've been on other projects where it's 10,000. So
Okay. All right. So just, you can give that some reflection, Joe, so next week we can discuss that and make a
Yeah.
motion there. Okay,
and the glass contractor, we're working on the state contract to get some subs together that we would want to go out to. And then the last bit of update I have is you'll be seeing in the next week or two, we'll be going out for the commissioning agent for Fitz House. We would use the current commission agent that we have on the three schools that we have, but the commission agent happens to be the design engineer for Fitz House. So just to keep it separated, we'll be going out to additional firms for the commission for Ward and the Fitz House project for phase 1.
okay. Anything else from your side? We had a number of conversations about background checks for the employees and how that's being processed. Has that all been solidified and working through?
Yeah,
It
we're
will be
yeah. We're going to utilize a third-party program for the trades, and my team has started to get their background checks with the town of Fairfield via the link that we were sent, which is basically you pay, you fill it out, and then we go and get fingerprinted and have our check done. We have to have a different level of check since we're going to be, basically managers on site the full time. But we're working through that now as people have had availability and as, night work shifts, stuff like that.
And back on the glass, I know we're going to go with the town's going to solicit with the contractor. So what does that
correct.
timeline look like in the near term?
We're reviewing the state contract and the available subs to get 3 to 4 that we want to solicit.
Okay. No concerns on timing for that.
No,
Okay.
not at this time. No.
All right. Any other updates?
The last item I have, and I just going through my notes, the long lead items we talked about, and it is and I know it's near and dear to Joe's heart too. It is a topic of conversation at each OAC meeting, and Gilbane has it on their schedule for when the submittals need to be in, when they need to be approved by, and when they need to be ordered. So based on what they were told at the scoping meetings, we are tracking the long lead items through their schedule and at each OAC meeting. It is a discussion point.
So there's no alternate path here. If we have delays from the suppliers, the project gets pushed. Is that the punchline? Worst case?
Worst case, yeah. There is plenty of time. It's an area of interest, or point of interest, I should say. So it is being dealt with and being managed that way. Just in the last 4 years, the materials ebb and flow, I guess you could say. I mean, so it's something that is on Gilbane's radar to track and to manage. So it is being managed through the schedule, and I'm sure it's brought up at every PM meeting they have and every sub meeting they have, is to make sure that the submittals aren't lagging, that they're putting pressure on the subs to get the long lead item submittals in so they can get ordered, so they do know what the lead time is.
What, as far as long lead items, what's in that bucket? Obviously switchgear, right?
Yes. Tim, do you want to take this?
Yeah, we have switchgear, we have the transformers, which essentially come via UI. We have the DOAS rooftop units, VRFs, which, I mean, they're not as long as the other items we just spoke about, but they're still important. They're still a possible 8 week to 10 weeks, depending on order time and manufacturer. We're getting, and Miguelina's on this call. She's obviously been really spearheading the long lead items. And we're supposed to be getting updated lead times today from Ferguson on all of their components. So I don't believe, Miguelina, we haven't received that as of yet, right?
Not yet. It's
Okay.
but we have it for today.
Right, so we're supposed to be getting in the Ferguson's lead times today for the electrical components, which we'll then obviously review and then share with everybody, and put them into our schedule and see where that takes us. And based on what we've been getting, like rough estimates, I think we're still looking like we're in line with our schedule. And Ferguson is also on the mechanical side. They're working to get their lead times in for all the mechanical side equipment. They told us by next Friday. We're pushing to get it ASAP. We want to get all this stuff kind of in front of us right now, so we can kind of do a more comprehensive review of the schedule and make sure there's no hits. And I think per our contract schedule, we're showing right now, based on the lead times we were floating around, we were putting up our baseline schedule at somewhere in May. We have switchgear and DOAS showing up. Again, based on an approval that would be taking place right around now. So, and again, the switchgear submittal has already been submitted and has been approved. So we're working through to get all those things released. And Miguelina, if you have anything to add, please do, because I know that you definitely spend a lot more time in the weeds here.
For general notes, some of the items that we're currently tracking, as the hollow metal doors, those typically have a couple of months of lead in here. We're not looking for submittal. The anticipated due date is first week of May. We have hollow metal frame, ballistic doors, which we can table that to a different time. These are provided by a different contractor. VRF units for the condensers. Those are coming early next week. That's what we're currently tracking. Curb for the equipment, rooftop equipment. Also have lighting for the building. Those are targeting first week of May. Coordination study, which is attached to the switchgear transformer. Most of you are already part of that conversation. That's ongoing. Reaching out to UI and coordinating all these. We have panel board resubmission in already. Ferguson Electric is coming in today to walk the electrical rooms to finalize the coordination with the switchgear and some of the components that they're trying to modify. What else we have here? Transformer utility vault. Again, that's another long lead items. Those need to be redesigned and sent for submission. But so far, we're not ahead of looking to anything be falling under cracks. So
Yeah, we're making sure we're on top. And I mean, I think, the VRFs are important for us for this project because, I'm not sure how much of you looked at our project schedule, but, right now we have kind of a placeholder for the fall to put cassettes up in the ceilings. That was strictly due to lead time concerns when we built the schedule, earlier this year, at the turn of the year. And I've been told by Ferguson that we believe those lead times would be more like 8 weeks. So again, we've already emphasized to them actually this past week, just, hey, we need this stuff ASAP, break it out of your package. I don't want to wait for a full package. I want things as they're ready so we can get them teed up to BL, get them in, because it'd be a huge success for the project if we get those VRF units in this summer. Just from a coordination standpoint, having to deal with the school and second shift. So we're pushing as hard as we can on everybody, and we're trying to. Miguel and I are making sure we have, we have a lot of correspondence out. We have weekly trade meetings that we have with everybody. So we go over this as well, and then again, we're having specifically with Ferguson because everything is so long lead and hot. We've had multiple conversations with them. So again, we'll look to see what we get in today, and we're pushing to get more HVAC information in as early as early part of next week. But as of right now, I think we're tracking, and we'll make sure that we stay that way as we get into release everything. One thing I do want to say on this call, just so it's on record, is Ferguson was having trouble reaching UI. They had tried a few different times, a few different people. We did escalate it to Mark and Sal. Sal was able to give us another more reliable contact. We put them in touch with Ferguson, and we were told that Ferguson should be hearing from UI by today. I don't believe that's happened yet. So I just wanted to give everyone the update because there might come a time that if this contact doesn't help us, that we might need to escalate this even further, within the town. I know even some of the representative has been mentioned, or Bill Gerber, somebody that can actually put a little weight around. So we're waiting to see if we get that connection today. But if it doesn't, I just want this not to be news to everybody as we go into next week that we're going to need more help, facilitating that, because really to complete the coordination study, we need UI's information and to be on board, especially for the transformer.
Okay. Yeah, Tim, can you email me at the end of the day or email the board at the end of the day? Just let us know if that contact.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Tim.
Yep.
What ballpark? What's the ROJ date for the switchboards?
Miguelina, do you want to check your log?
Sorry, say it one more time. What was the question? Sorry.
What date are we looking to land the switchgear for required on the job site?
Let me look at the GMP because submittal wise, I need to have it turned in by May 1st. Submittal wise.
Here, let me pull up my
Site.
schedule real quick, Joe. Give me one
Yeah,
second.
to be on site, let me check the schedule.
I don't think I got a copy of the schedule. I may have, but I don't think so.
Should be part of the GMP.
It was part of the GMP, but you also joined late, Joe, so you might not have seen it. Let me hang on. I'm in there right now. Let me just take a look. I know it was. So we have fab and deliver switch.
I'll distribute the schedule out.
Sorry, Mark.
I'll send the schedule out.
Oh yeah,
to the
okay.
committee.
Right now, for switchgear, we had fab and deliver switchgear. We had it arriving on site June 3rd of 25. So we're I mean, again, we're going to be right up against that.
Yeah.
But again, we can't do anything with it until June 15th at the earliest because of school still being in session. So, but yeah, listen, Joe, we're concerned. There's concerns. We understand. I know you and I had a quick email conversation about just you're on track, and all of a sudden there's a delay that comes up, towards the end of your production cycle. But right now we're showing June 3rd. to have that to site. So again, based on a 52 to 55 week lead time, if we get everything buttoned up in the coming couple weeks, we should be right there to get, the coordination study has been ongoing for, I believe, 3 weeks now, Miguelina. It's been
Yes.
around that. Yeah. So we're, I know the submittal's approved. We're obviously working with trying to get
Big.
UI's information, but the coordination study it's right there. I really was like, we got to have this thing situated in the first couple weeks of May.
Gotcha.
Tim, I'm
That's
projecting here the
unfortunate.
schedule for
Okay,
reference.
okay. I mean,
Yeah,
that's pretty
it's
much
not
as
shared,
good as
Mick.
it goes nowadays.
It's not sure.
I see it online.
I see it.
Yes.
Mark, you got a delay.
There we go.
All right. Yeah. So again, I think for right now, let us see what develops today from Ferguson and UI. And Jeff will definitely send out an update if we were able to be successful getting Ferguson in touch with UI. And we can obviously share these updates again next week, as we hopefully will have more of these in concrete from Ferguson by then.
Yeah. There's a little friction between UI and the town right now, so we just want to make sure that doesn't,
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think of that.
make sure
Well-
that doesn't bleed over into our project. That's all.
Is that from the lines they want to put in?
The monopoles, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, the polls are, yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's
Okay.
unfortunate, but yeah.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you, Miguelina.
So
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
All right. Any project updates on 2 through 5, phases 2 through 5 that we want to discuss today?
The biggest thing on 2 through 5 is we have site visits scheduled for next week, I believe Tuesday and Thursday, to walk the 4 schools. And BO's in the process of gathering existing drawings that are available to him.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Moving on. Approvals. Any approvals this morning?
The only one I got, we already did the Connex box. The only one I got is the materials testing. If we want to approve the budget numbers for and get them under PO.
All right. Joe, are you comfortable moving forward with that, or do you need time to process?
No, I reviewed. I'm good.
All right. Mark, can you just show that those numbers again?
Yep. I thought it was. Sorry about that.
We're at the
There we go.
Brady Bunch screen. Okay.
So if I go full page, it's going to be too small. But Osborne, North Stratfield, and then Woods. So
All right. So making a motion to authorize spend on material management in the amounts of $3,282 for Osborne Hill, $4,402 or $4,500 estimate for North Stratfield, and $9,500 for Fairfield Woods School. For
I
material.
second the motion.
Any discussion
second.
on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Joe. Okay. So that's it for approvals right now.
yep. Well,
And-
for proposals, I do have the invoice packet
Yes, we do have one.
the large one that it is. Just a single invoice for Colliers for our efforts in March. Total of $15,015.30.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve that?
You want me to make the motion?
Please.
I'd like to make a motion to approve $15,015.30 for Collier's project leaders for their work in March, dated 4/8/24, invoice number 937517.
I'll second the motion.
Is there any
Any dis-
discussion on this?
All right, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Joe. All right. Any other new business from anyone?
Hey, Mark, this is Jesse. Just a quick question for you. The
Yes.
structural allowance we talked about earlier this week, would that be the next
Yep.
building committee meeting?
Next meeting, yes.
Okay. Nope,
Correct.
sounds good. I figured as much, just thought I'd ask.
All right. When we were in Brady Bunch mode, I saw Jason Lee. Mr. Lee, any feedback on the Board of Education from the construction? Are we getting anything coming through you guys? Everybody's happy? Did lose
I
him?
don't see him on anymore.
Did he drop?
I
Okay.
don't see him on anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll say
Jesse?
that I'll say that we're doing well so far. Jeff?
As I shared with you, Sal, this was the week I was nervous about, right? Week after construction started, parents were back. I was wondering if we had heard any feedback.
The feedback's been good. As Tim had said, the custodians were happy. The principals were happy. We had 2 of the 3 principals at the OAC, so they actually gave kudos to the cleanup and the return of the rooms. They were happy with the way they were presented.
Fantastic.
So no big complaints going on. And the next big thing that we have to worry about is really refining the schedule so we can go back to the state and get an extension on the HVAC grant now that we have all our documentation of scheduling and delivery dates. That's what we're told we needed. And we're hoping to have that in May and get that up to the state.
Excellent. Okay. And at this point, we don't need any, we're comfortable with the process in the sense that we don't need any assistance from our state legislators or anything of that nature, correct?
Oh, once we have all the information together, we'll definitely have Jen Leeper be at least CC'd on all the communication. She took point in getting us the answers that we've had so far. She's been extremely helpful with all of these projects and grants. So we'll definitely keep her involved.
Okay. Very good.
It's as long as she's in the communications, I think that's sufficient. She can work whatever magic she needs to work behind the scenes.
Very good. Okay. Excellent. All right. Any other new business for anyone? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, I'd like to present a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Very good. I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We can stop the recording.